That's it.
Did anyone prepare for this week's episode?
I'm logging out right before.
Okay.
I'm prepared. I'm ready to go.
I did last week.
I don't know much about the topic, so
yeah, because John, you're not on social media. Did you receive the envelope in the mail I sent you of the printout? Welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. We have a spicy topic tonight. It is about an auction that happened recently, Star Wars Collectibles. It is all the rage on the collector groups online the last, not even 48 hours yet. It's, I guess it's about 48 hours now at this point. But people are fired up. They're hot. They're incensed. They're encouraging everybody to take some sort of action or take no action when dealing with this auction house in the future. We are going to try to take a 50-foot view at this, or 100-foot view, whatever you call it, and look at the whole picture, see what the story looks like. Brandon is here. He is intimately familiar with the story, just because I think it interested you and you saw a lot of people sharing their situations and what happened with them. Not that you were directly, involved, but Charles has been on fire about this whole topic.
The last time I was this enraged was the Short V Gonk Revolution. This actually probably triples that.
Right. Yeah, and I can understand. John is absolutely not on social media, so he has no idea about any of this.
What are we talking
about? Christopher does know about this. He has heard about this, and he's
I'm last, so that means Shane hates me the most.
Right. Well, you posted. Was it you or Brand? I think it was you, Chris. You posted in Rogue 5 Toys just to kind of get some feedback, some reactions. Or was that you, Brandon?
Brandon did the reaction. I was just doing the funny picture.
Okay. So we did get
I posted for informational purposes in the morning following the email that was sent out, and then Chris posted a funny picture after.
Right.
But John's not on Facebook, so he couldn't see either one.
John has zero idea what's going on.
I would have loved it if I saw it.
I would like to.
And this guy complains about the show and all this stuff, and he is missing everything.
I would have loved to.
Literally everything.
All right. Well, we'll see if we can pull that up for John. We could get him in on the action, and he could.
John doesn't even know there's a auction house called Heritage.
What?
No,
John is that what we're talking about?
John thinks Heritage is a place we're going for brunch next year.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump in. Let's throw the mic over to Brandon, so to speak, and tell us what kind of happened. I mean, there was it was Heritage Auctions had a collectible auction.
Just say what happened, and then we'll explain.
Some Star Wars.
Yeah, they had a Star Wars Day. May the 4th auction on Heritage. And basically, they ended the lots like they should have at the time that they were going to expire. And they stopped the auction basically and extended the bidding to start the next day, lasting basically a whole day. So the way these auctions work is that an auction will end, they'll go into extended bidding, usually until people stop bidding, and it's only for like a half an hour, and then the auction's over with. And then what happened
what
here
is that
that
extended
happened.
bidding, Brandon? Because I've never taken part in an auction. Why doesn't it just end at a time?
Because they want the bidding war.
It's because they want people to continue spending money. So what happens at the end of the auction, if nobody is bidding, that item is over. But as soon as you start bidding during the extended bidding, the time starts basically resetting until that.
Oh, that's like what
done.
I did on the live sales. Like if somebody's bidding, you add 30 seconds or something.
But only people who have placed bids can bid. You can't be like some outsider that jumps in at the last minute.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm okay with that. Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually okay with that too. There's nothing wrong with
that. So
that.
they'll keep it going or whatever. So what happened is that everything ended for the night. Right. The whole auction ended.
Done. Sold.
And then they sent out an email to everybody saying, hey, and they put it on their website, hey, which I sent you, Shane, you should have those, saying, hey, we're sorry, but we've extended
this is
the bidding to start at 10 p.m. following the next day. And basically what happened was I even logged into the auction. I didn't put any bids in, but I could have bid on stuff if I wanted between the time that the auction had officially ended to when that extended bidding period started happening. So they basically extended the auction for another day.
But a lot of the prices went very low, like beyond low. Like low.
People were getting deals.
Yeah, and it was attributed to lack of advertisement for this auction, probably. Some of these items are not your everyday items. A lot of the way I learned about this whole thing was because I was on the prototype group and people were like extremely angry because a lot of the stuff that was being listed was prototypes. And you all know that, vintage Star Wars prototypes go for a lot of money and a lot of these are going for pretty cheap. So after the end of the auction, they sent out this email saying basically they're postponing the bidding to ensure fair opportunity for everybody. Extended bidding will begin at 10 o'clock on Tuesday, May 5th. Basically opening the door after the auction had ended for more bidding to occur. And they blamed it on a litany of reasons, something to do with the times that were set. There was 3 different times that they said that was confusing, and they wanted to make sure that it was available for all people to bid and to maximize the profits of those that have, consigned items to the auction house. This was obviously not well received by those that have won auctions, honestly. And I was joking. I was like, wow, why couldn't that have happened to me? There's been plenty of times where I've won an auction and I'm like, I wish somebody would outbid me. I actually don't want buyer's remorse, I'm sure there was a couple of those people that had buyer's remorse. So they're like, thank God I didn't win. But yeah, so they sent this out and a lot of people lost their minds about it. It was posted in multiple groups the next day. Every toy group you could think of, this was put in there, whether it's G.I. Joe's or Star Wars or whatnot. But obviously this angered a lot of people, and this put a very bad taste in the mouth of all those that were bidding and or not bidding. Stay clear from this auction house for sure. I mean, I don't really do these auctions. I used to back in the beginning a lot, but the fees are ridiculous. Their shipping's ridiculous for any auction house. A lot of these auction houses sell fake stuff because they don't have somebody on staff to verify certain things. I mean, there's a couple of them that I still steer very clear from, and I will never use these auctions again. I think it's a giant waste of money.
Just to add in something also that's very important too is that I only know 3 people offhand that were trying to buy stuff that placed bids. And so when they were placing basically bids on these items, they had their high bid, but they all won on whatever it was. So for instance, this guy bid $1,000 on an item, but he won it at $500. The next morning,
like a secret bid.
The secret bid. But the next morning when it opened up, someone happened to bid $950. So that now he's in the lead still for $1,000. His other item did the exact same thing right below his secret bid. 2 other guys I spoke to, whatever their high secret bid was, miraculously, there was a bid also. So it seems like they knew everyone's secret bid, which is, of course, what they know. But then out of nowhere, someone places a bid that was $25 or $50 below it. So now they're the new high bid. So this guy won the auction for $500 on whatever he was bidding. It said sold on May 4th for $500. They reopened it because it was way too low. And now all of a sudden he's winning it at $1,000.
Yeah. It's kind of like what eBay does. You know how you can put in a bid for something on eBay and it's way above the price that it's currently going for. And then it's your secret bid. And then if people keep bidding, you make it.
The 3 people that I know were bidding, it all happened to all 3 people in the morning.
And Heritage put it in there. They knew what the secret bids were.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know, technology-wise, privacy-wise, I don't know what the auction houses can see. I would assume they can see everything. I think everybody should assume they could see everything. But they should not be able to see what your max bid is. They should only see what the current bid is, and that max bid should stay private. I mean, no one should be aware of it unless the bid, comes into play and is a live bid. But what I thought I understood up to this point is that I thought what everybody else misunderstood was that the extended bidding didn't actually either happen or didn't complete. And that was what they hit the pause button on. But you're saying that they redid another extension.
Know. I wasn't bidding on anything, and I'm sure someone can comment. I don't know if they did the extended bidding. I'm assuming they did because every auction house does extended bidding. If usually it's for 30 minutes after the auction's supposed to end. If the auction ends at 7 p.m., they will announce we will do extended bidding for 30 minutes after 7 p.m. So extended bidding will end at 7:30 unless that item is continuously getting bid on, in which case that will extend that one item's auction until the very last bid and the time runs out.
So 50 items can end, but then there could be 10 more that's still going.
Right.
Yeah. So
just
I don't know
the bidders to that point.
I don't know if that happened or not. I was not a part of the auction. I was not bidding. That may have happened because that's a standard practice for pretty much all auction houses. And I'm assuming that's what happened. So after the end, when you are done and people were done bidding and the auction is officially closed, there should not be any more bidding on those items. What they did was when the auction was officially closed, they said, sorry, but we're extending it again until 10 o'clock the next night is when the extended bidding will resume. So they gave everybody over 24. I don't know when the auction ended, but I'm assuming it was before 10 p.m. It gave everybody almost a little bit more than 24 hours to continue bidding on those items. And you could go online and continue bidding on those items yourself throughout the day before the extended bidding window opened. They allowed online bidding during. So basically, they opened up the bidding again because I logged on at the end of the auction, and I could have bid on multiple items if I wanted.
Honestly, it was really, really shady what they did because it happened to be that a lot of the items were very low priced. Yeah. A lot of the people who we even know or people in the community had their items up and they were very displeased, basically saying I sent them an item that's worth $10,000 and they did their description and it had one sentence of describing what the item is worth $10,000. It was basically
so a lot of people took a
rare prototype that there's 2 of. That's it.
You know what?
There was no description.
They're not looking out for their consigners and they're not looking out for their buyers. They don't care. All they care is that they get the most amount of money for those items for themselves. They don't have anybody's interest in mind. They don't care if the consignor loses money on the item. They just want the max amount of money, and it only increases exponentially because of their 25%. They have a 25% buyer's premium on that. That's insane.
I would never in a million years. I stopped buying and bidding on all of these sites.
Same thing.
They're all scummy.
Well, I did see a couple of people, a lot of people commenting and posting, but a couple of people specifically posting saying that they won an item and that the page for that item said sold, won, this is the price, this is the winner. And then when they found out that they were restarting the extended bidding, they reached out to Heritage and said, I'm not okay with this. However they said it, and said, I want you to withdraw my bid. I no longer want to bid on this item with the way that you're running this. And this was not one person. I think I saw at least 2, maybe 3 people say this. They contacted them and said, withdraw my bid. I'm not paying anything for this. And they said, sorry, no bid retractions. So however they take payment, they whether they have a credit card on file, whatever their way of
credit card on file.
They were like, you're not no bid retractions. If you end up being the high bidder, you're getting charged for it. So people were even more incensed by that.
Of course,
let alone Chris's example of a few people getting pushed to their max, which is, if that is true, and obviously we don't have any inside knowledge, but it seems a little curious that it happened to multiple people. If that is true, I think that's the most egregious out of everything.
Oh, that's worse than actually extending the auction in the first place.
Because that to me shows me that the auction house did have visibility into those max bids and then took advantage of them.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Well, don't we have a couple examples of the.
Yeah, we have a couple examples sent in by one of our viewers of the item that they had originally won and then not won. So this was one with a bid of 340,
and it says sold on May 4th.
Sold
with the buyer's premium of 5.
With the buyer's premium, it's already all done and added. Like that's it, it's done.
The lot number is 98507.
Thanks. Okay. So as you can see right there, it says you won this with a secret max bid of $411. So apparently, if they sent this to the buyer, they know what the secret max bid is.
Right. Yeah, now it says underneath with buyer's premium 425, but on top, unless that buyer's premium was probably with the max bid of 411, that 513. So the winning bid with buyer's premium was 425. So
negative. I think let's see here. Let me do the math.
But my point is, it goes to show you.
425. Yeah, I don't know. I think with buyer's premium was 425. So the secret bid, I think, makes it 513. So
yeah.
But it goes to show you. It legit is like a 25% fee. It's $85 on 340.
Let me tell you what,
25% buyer's premium and 25% seller's premium.
That is one of the highest buyer's premiums I've seen in an auction. Usually it's like anywhere from 18 to 21.
So ridiculous.
25 is ridiculous.
And so the seller's premium is the same as the buyer's premium?
I don't know what the seller's consignment fee is, but
yeah, you're right. That's the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the auction house is making money on both sides. Now, I don't know how long that's gone on, but if you go back, like traditionally speaking of auctions, I think it was, typically a fee to the seller. You bid on an auction and that was the amount you paid. And I might be, this might be a very dated thing.
That's how eBay is. They charge the seller on eBay.
Right. You go back to like traditional auction houses, like, before the internet and stuff. And it was, you put stuff up, maybe you put it, up for consignment. Maybe there's a different way that you can give it to the auction house. But the seller is charged a fee for the auction house's work on promoting the sale, on advertising it and handling the auction and all that stuff, the paperwork and everything.
We do that on Rogue 5. We offer a 15% consignment on anybody that wants to sell their stuff, and we handle everything on there. That's what Chris and I do for some of the stuff that we get in.
Right.
But we don't charge 25% to the buyer and the guy that's giving us the items for consignment. This is robbery.
The buyer's premium is nuts to me. I know it's a regular thing now, but the idea that you bid on something and then have to pay a whole bunch more
is nuts. Huge turnoff. I have literally not bought items on an auction because I refuse to pay the buyer's premium. It's ridiculous.
And we've talked about this before. The shipping is what you're going to say, Chris?
Not to mention the shipping is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know, like they think they're shipping gold bars or this is what they insure it for. But even some of these grading companies, they grade a damn mock. I get it sent back to my house. It's $39 for one graded mock.
Oh,
how? I ship them every day of my life for $10 to $12 and you charge $39?
I bought 5 or 6 mocks from Hake's auction a few years ago, and think they wanted to charge me over $200 to ship it for 5 mocks. Luckily, my brother lives in York, Pennsylvania, which is right where the auction house is. And I asked him, hey, can you go pick up these items for me? They're trying to charge me over $200 to ship. And he's like, sure, no problem. He goes over there and he shows me the box. He goes, what's in this box? This box is enormous. It's taking up my whole, the back of my SUV. And I said, 5 mocks. And he's like, are you serious?
I'm shocked they still gave you the box, though, and the packing material
Yeah,
that they paid
he
for.
said it was already packed and ready to go.
And they gave
my name on
free?
it. They gave it. He picked it up, and I emailed them before that. I said, hey, my brother lives there. Can he pick them up for me? And they're like, sure. And she's like, by the way, they're already prepackaged. And I said, okay. So he got there. I had him open the box to ensure that there was 5 things in there, which there was. He signed for it. He showed me, hey, this is what's in there. And I said, okay. He went to UPS store or whatever, bought a smaller box, shoved them in the box, and sent them to me for like $50. You know, because they're graded, so a little heavier. And it was it.
Yeah.
I saved like $200.
All these auction houses, by far, they're like very shady. They're very scummy. I mean, Hakes is the only one, and I'm sure they do stuff, but like Hakes is the only one that if I was ever going to buy something I would use personally. I wouldn't use any of these other ones. Like, look at Golden. They have a guy who looks like a washed up porn star that is the worst guy in the toy hobby. He's been booted from every Star Wars group. He's promoting them.
Don't even give him that title. That's ridiculous.
What, a washed up porn star?
he had to start his own group because he got kicked out of every other group.
And now they put him like, is that going to make anybody ever want to buy from them? Absolutely not. That makes everyone not want to buy because people in the hobby know who that loser is.
Listen, I don't follow it closely, and I could be wrong, but I did see something the other day about the rocket firing Boba Fett that they sold about 2 weeks ago. And what's his name? Ken Golden is in the picture holding it. Like they don't have that other guy anywhere near it. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe there was a live something or other and he was involved, but when I see the articles or, the promotions of the sale,
I mean,
they have him selling Power of the Force 2 in the background, I think.
Because it's a high dollar item, the owner of the company is going to obviously take responsibility and hold it. And plus, nobody knows who that other idiot is. So
I'm almost positive that Golden in general, a couple of years ago, they got in trouble or they were accused of shill bidding. I'm pretty sure if you can actually Google it, they were already accused and gotten in trouble for doing shady stuff.
Yeah.
So now Heritage does this. Like, who are people going to use?
Well, let's compare the other photo with the.
Yeah. I wanted to take it off the screen because we were kind of chatting.
Yeah.
But again, this is a sold item for $340 plus buyer's premium. Ended on May 4th.
Yeah, sold.
And then
the lot number is 98507.
Right. Yeah, 98507. And then this is the next day.
Same lot
number, and then it sold on May 5th, $675.
So total $843 with the buyer's premium.
$843 with the buyer's premium.
That's not even including shipping.
I'm going to do what Charles would say and just play both sides and say, why in the world were you bidding on this piece of shit in the first place anyway? Because who the hell wants a Power of the Force 2 Chewbacca oversized? It's a piece of crap.
Unproduced, Chris. Unproduced.
Who cares? It's a piece of garbage.
So the deal with these, the deal with these is that up until recently, some of these have been unattainable. The vintage Kenner ones have been unattainable due to price and people hoarding them. So this is the next best thing is the Power of the Force 2 line. So these have been fetching pretty high prices at auction. Anyway,
I would rather
they can't afford it. I mean,
I would rather see Power of the Force 2 stuff go for this price, but definitely than those retro ones.
Oh my God, the retro ones were going for $675.
Retro ones are my childhood, like right here. So
and the retro ones are 2023 or whatever,
Yeah.
So This one's a little different because it's a paint sample with unproduced, oversized. I don't know what this is.
I get it. I'm just saying it's ugly, but I get it. Plus, it's Chewbacca.
So I got another question about this. What's the provenance for this? If you're bidding on this, can you see, or are you just taking Heritage's word?
I don't know what the rest of the listing might have had.
Yeah.
But
a lot of times you're taking their word for it. A lot of these items, that's why I made the mistake of not buying graded items in an auction, and I got fucking burned for it because it was all fake. You can't tell from the pictures until you get it in, and you're like, "This is fake." I only buy graded stuff at auction because at least it goes through a couple more hands. But
here you go, John. Right, we had this. I thought this was an email to the person who bid on it. This is actually the description. There you go.
Okay.
We had this guy on our show, Brian Wilk.
What?
Yeah, we had him on our show. Brian Vosberg, whatever the hell his name was.
No. Volkwise. We need to get him back on, by the way.
Early design paint master represents the development phase of Power of the Force 2.
They're not responsible for damage, glazing, original boxes, or extending bidding.
That's just really. It's not really telling you that.
No.
Where it came from.
Well, I mean, they're saying it was drawn from his collection, drawn from the Brian Wilk collection. So maybe there's some provenance.
Who's that?
But who cares, though?
Well, it sounds like he was the designer. I mean, he's a veteran toy and game designer and inventor.
We don't need to get into the item itself.
Spent 25 years at Hasbro.
Let's just talk about how shitty and shady what they did to these people.
Right. Regardless of the item, this happened. It's a big greedy money grabbing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not right for the guys who did.
And people are like, boycott, blah blah. And honestly, Heritage only sells. They don't sell only toys; they sell everything. So this is not going to bother them one bit.
No,
they don't.
I guess they just won't sell toys anymore.
Yeah, they don't.
No, they'll still sell toys. They don't care. They're a huge auction house. This isn't going to do anything to them. It's not like that one that Chris went to.
Oh God!
So what? Morphine, the morphine auction, the morphine find. Like that place, I never heard of that place. That might have ended them, but
I mean, I don't know. Like all they basically got was 1 or 2 days of excessive emails and phone calls. For the most part, they don't care at all. They're probably laughing that they got way more money. All these people who are crying and complaining about spending more money, and you have to boycott this. Mark my words. All these people are like flippers, and when they see something go on this sale and on the next lot and it's going for cheap, their asses will be bidding so they can buy it and flip it themselves. They don't have any pride to themselves. Are you kidding me? Stay away.
So it would be interesting. I mean, I guess there's no way to go back and look. Like we had this example because a viewer sent it. It would be interesting if we could know.
Yeah, I'm not talking about you, Frank, either. I'm talking about
the big picture. If we could know the big picture of all the examples like Frank's, like, hey, this was the ending bid on the 4th. And then it went for 38% more. How much extra money did they take in for all this mission?
I can tell you that a first shot Yak Face, one of the guys on our group bought it for, I want to say $2,300 before fees, which is actually probably a pretty good price. It was graded first shot Yak Face, and he posted his win because he was super happy about it. Like, look, I won this, only to have somebody 5 minutes later all over it because they're like, hey, the auction's still going. They just sent out this explanation. So you have that as a point as well to where people saw what they bid
and what did it sell for.
You could go back and see what stuff sold for during that time, because that's what I was looking at, because I actually went on the Heritage site after all that and I was like, I wonder what this stuff sold for. I wonder what a good deal for a graded Yak Face first shot prototype is. And I looked at all the prices of stuff. It was all nothing was given away by any means. I mean, it depends on how you value this stuff to begin with. If you want to spend $2,600 on a first shot Yak Face, go right ahead. But you could see what everything's sold for if you have an account. And then,
okay.
Yeah, you have the sold items. And then, so right now, I don't think it would show you what it sold for the day before and what it sold for the day after.
No.
It'll probably show you the final amount.
Right. No, I was just going to look and see what that Yak Face was, what the final amount was. But if I can't see it without an account, it's not going to.
I'm curious as to how many do they keep record of the amount of bids for an item?
Yeah, it'll tell you how many.
So I'm wondering how many bids went between the $340 and the $675 that won.
Oh, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? I mean, I honestly think everybody should just be very careful when you're using these auction sites.
Yeah.
If you're looking for that one specific piece that never comes up for sale, like, guys, I get it. I understand. A lot of the times, though, people are honestly just looking to snipe things at cheap prices to flip it. It's not, in my opinion, it's not worth it with all these fees and then the freaking shipping that they charge you on.
The only things I ever buy at auction are one of a kind.
Yeah.
You know that there's not others around.
Like, I understand those pieces, but the stuff that they charge, like all these prices, it is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
It's a no for me.
Well, like I said, I'm not
for me, dog.
I'm not necessarily looking to go through item by item, but it is something that I'm curious about. They like you guys said, they probably don't care at all. This is like, a fly on a horse's back, but you could make the argument that they put themselves in the crosshairs, and they took a lot of flack across the Star Wars collector community by doing this. So whatever that fallout might be, I'm wondering what it was worth. Did they take in $100,000 extra, $50,000? Like, what else? What did they take in extra?
I don't think we even explained, though, what their reasoning was for what they did. I don't think anyone actually mentioned it. They're claiming that there was conflicting reports of when the auctions would end. Yeah. That's what they said, that there was conflicting times, schedules of when things would end. Now, these listings have been up for what, a month? You mean to tell you it took you to the last day when stuff ended for you to realize that there was anything conflicting when people are on there on the last day bidding like crazy to win?
Yeah, of course. It's ridiculous.
So that was their reasoning, was that there was conflicting times and schedules of what items were selling when. And
there's conflicting schedules of the extended bidding or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely crazy, in my opinion. Listen, if you did this after 2 weeks and there was still 2 weeks left, no problem. I get it. But you can't do it after the auction ends. And then to say that you're still going to keep it open, then they probably should have said, you know what, we're going to keep it open, but no one's paying a buyer's premium. I mean, that would have been a good little thing. We're going to keep it open. We screwed up. People are still going to be pissed, but no one's paying a buyer's premium. You bite the bullet and don't make any extra 25%. No, they can't do that either. God forbid.
I wonder if
they didn't advertise the auction correctly. A lot of people didn't even know about it, so they wanted to grab more money for it.
That's pretty much what it was. That they did a shitty job.
They dropped the ball. Yeah,
they did a very shitty job promoting this. People did not even know anything about it, and they're just claiming it on conflicting times and schedules.
I had no idea until somebody made a big stink about it, and I logged on, and I was like, oh.
So people just kind of happened upon it.
But again, it's been going on for a month. Like, it's not like it just started yesterday.
And a lot of these people aren't even in these groups. The ones that are bidding on these, the people with a lot of money, they're not even in these groups. They just go on these auction houses. That's where they buy from, is from these auction houses.
Yeah, I found the Yak Face, but like you said, it's you got to sign in order to see the final price. But I mean, this stuff was up for sale. There's catalogs that went out. I mean, this is not this wasn't like a couple of day thing. Like, there was printed thick catalogs that went out.
Yeah.
Some of our viewers reached out to us and said they have the catalog. They didn't participate in this specific auction, but they were sent the catalog.
You would have think that a May the 4th auction would have been blowing up my Facebook feed with algorithms. I mean, I get every other May the 4th piece of crap.
Doesn't it even make sense that a May the 4th auction ends on May the 4th?
I think they also said that they had another auction that was ending.
Yeah.
They can't handle that?
They blamed it on another auction ending at the same time that I believe was not Star Wars or something like that. And they dropped the ball. They did a bad job. The consigners who were selling all were complaining how low the prices were.
Yeah.
And they basically extended because all the prices were way down, like way down.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Down further than a Titanic.
I'll tell you this. If nothing else, and they probably knew this in advance, by creating all this hubbub about it, it started to spread. So as bad as a job they did of advertising it, the word spread. Oh my God, they're extending it because the prices were too low. Then everybody floods it and goes, they're all low. Let's go bid.
I got PM'd. Somebody was like, hey, do you mind not sharing what you put on your toy group about the auction? And I was like, yeah, I'm trying to look out for everybody, A, and B, it doesn't matter. It's on every Facebook group about Star Wars and G.I. Joe.
And it was only Instagram because he was
internet.
trying to bid on the items and get a low price.
Because he was trying to get the items cheap. And I get it. You don't want others to know about the auction, so you get the item cheap. But by that time, the cat was way out of the bag, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what, if David Shawn is texting people about it, and that guy is never on Facebook, and he's busy, he's got a telescope up his head. If he even found out about it, that means that everyone knows about it because we never hear from that guy.
Yeah, right. Even Rolo says,
Rolo.
Even Rolo made a comment about it.
John has a video coming out, I believe, on Sunday, and he has parts of Brandon's post on Rogue 5 will be on his video with my picture I put up too, because he told me that he wants to take a huge dump all over Heritage.
Yeah,
because he was like laughing hysterical that this even happened, and like this, it's like one of the things that you just don't do.
I mean, imagine if
you don't do that.
Imagine if one of us, was one of the people that won something. I mean, you would be absolutely livid.
Can you imagine winning it for $500 and then winning it again for $975?
Oh, that's pretty bad too.
Like I told you, there's been plenty of auctions where I'm like, I hope somebody outbids me on that. I have buyer's remorse, and they're like, oh, thank God, extended bidding. And somebody bid on
Brandon's like squeezing every penny out, and he wins something for like $600, and then he finds out it's really like $982 after shipping.
I bid on something on eBay. I think it was a mock or whatever, and of course I did what Chris did. I didn't read what the guy had posted.
Nobody ever does.
And the pictures weren't they were about as bad as Shane's camera that taken with a potato.
Right.
And I couldn't tell that the blisters had been sliced open.
Oh,
and they were sealed, and I was like, man, and I was bidding, and I was like, man, this is a great, this is cheap. Wow, this is a great price, and there was like an hour left to go, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, why is this so cheap? And I read the description, and I'm like, retract. No! And I'm like, man. And then sure enough, somebody outbid me, and I was like, thank God.
It's like when Charles bids on like a $300 Lego ship and gets it in the mail, and he can't believe he got it for $120, and it's like made in like Uruguay,
Yeah.
And it's packed in a VHS clamshell.
Yeah. It's completely fake. It like Lego is spelled wrong on it, that kind of thing.
Largo.
Yeah.
If seeing this stuff does not make you want to consign with Rogue 5 toys, and I don't know what else you need to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you guys
Sign
need.
with
We don't-
5 toys.
I'll admit
15% consignment fee. There's no buyer's premium.
we don't have the legs of some of these auction houses to get out there, but
No,
we
definitely
won't extend bidding. That's for sure.
No.
And we do a pretty good job marketing it on patreon.com/5 idiots talking toys.
That's right. Yeah, if you join our Patreon, you support the show, number one. That's most important. But number two, you get early access to all of our content, and you get early previews of all the collectibles that go for sale on our page, Rogue 5 Toys. So you get to check them out.
You don't get early thumbnams. That's
no. They don't need thumbnails. They just want to watch the show. They know the show. They don't need to be enticed to click with a thumbnail. We got
a new Patreon today, John. Just to let you know.
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's a new one, but he used to be, and then he canceled, and he came back.
All right.
You're added to the bottom of the list.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get to check out the collectibles before they go for sale. If you have any questions, you can write one of these guys and talk to them about the item before it goes public.
Yes, at Heritage, askheritage.com.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I wonder if they've done this before. I wonder if this has happened before. Surely it's happened before, right? Of course, I'm not in any kind of like stamp collectors groups or anything like that, so I don't know.
They had something happen a few years back. They got exposed for shill bidding on something. I want to say, just like Golden did.
So maybe it wasn't Golden, and maybe it was Heritage, but
it was I think something to do with some sports cards or something. It's something weird. And they got in a lot of trouble for it.
Here comes Charles.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about the buyer premium, the sellers.
Shill bidding's illegal. So
that's
sure. But I mean,
horrible.
think about the seller. You know, in that instance, when the shill bidding goes on, right? Because there's no actual transaction that takes place.
Well, here's the problem, though, John. This feeds into what I was saying before. Not only is shill bidding, just ethically wrong, but now we're recognizing that these auction houses can see all the max bids. So it's not just a matter of like on eBay where you go and you go, throw another bid in there for me. See if we can sell it for a little bit more. They know what the max bids are. So their shill bidding is like snipers. Like, and I don't mean sniper at the end of the auction. I mean like accurate, deadly. They see your max bid is 1,000. They could shill bid 950 and know that it's going to sell.
It goes by $50 increments. So hey, you just bid 950, so the high bidder can now be $1,000 for him.
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
So that's much worse than just a regular shill bid.
I personally know 3 people who bid personally, and it happened to all 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Not saying that they ended up winning the items, but they all got bid up exactly to what their high bid was after they had won.
I don't really understand this at all. I just how they could extend an auction that's and the reasoning was, there was multiple times. Well, people emailed them. I saw people say they emailed them and said, show me what you're talking about. Show me where there were multiple times. And I haven't seen any proof of it yet. So I don't understand this whole thing at all, how they could actually do this. But there's no regulation on this. I mean, there's some laws that they have to follow, but extending an auction is not something that, anybody's regulating. So
it's all about the monies.
Yeah. So, what's the moral of the story? I don't know. Be careful of who you're joining an auction with. I mean, listen, there's probably a lot of people who have bought stuff from Heritage before, didn't have any trouble, and this is something that just came out of nowhere.
Like not Chris to go on another. Go.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say not to go on another rant, but this is why I hate Deal or No Deal, because Deal or No Deal, people alter the terms of Deal or No Deal, and then all of a sudden when it's bidding, they turn it into a time limit auction. So it's been going on for a day and everyone's bidding. Then they go, all right, highest bidder tomorrow at 8 p.m. wins.
Yeah.
You literally just make an offer, and now you just turned it into a timed auction. That's
all right, guys. I'm gonna turn in for the night. It's 11:40 here local.
Yeah.
I'll check in tomorrow morning, and last bidder at 10 a.m. will win.
I won't see it, and I won't participate in any of those. You will never see me participate. Scummy. It's scummy to do. You're just you're altering the terms now.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, if you're going to say a time limit and there's been, it's just been open-ended to that point, that's fine. But don't say like, here's a price and then go back and say like, we'll let it go a little longer.
The only auction house I've never had a problem with was Hakes.
Besides for their exorbitant shipping charges,
except for, and that's all across the board there. Everybody does the same thing. So I haven't had any problems with them. Not saying that they're the best either, but
hey, does
I don't know what that came from.
But that Heritage. I wouldn't do
our library.
That troll on Golden. I wouldn't do him either.
Oh, the washed up porn star.
Yeah, I wouldn't do him either. And
the one that has like eBay on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who's like 5'2" and weighs 300 pounds. Yeah, him.
That guy.
Unless you just have buku bucks, you have the FU money. I wouldn't bid on anything. I don't want to just single out Golden, but I'm familiar at least a little bit with Golden just because I've watched the show on Netflix, and it's the stuff. I mean, yes, they're showing the best of the best. I'm sure there's a lot of more affordable collectibles that obviously they're not showcasing everything on Netflix. It's just they're cherry picking. But I mean, these people are just bidding. They're not really bidding what the item is valued at. They're just throwing money out there, and you can get caught up. And the next thing you know is you're like, wait a minute, how much did I just commit with all these fees and everything?
I mean,
I'm not getting involved.
Collectibles are turning into an asset portfolio too. I mean,
yeah.
We've been talking about it, and then the prices went down. But honestly, it's going back to that again. Things that go on in the world, you guys see how the market just reacts to anything that goes on, up and down, up and down. It's crazy. Like gold prices, silver. People are starting to put their money into toys and paintings and cards more and more and more and more, especially the younger generation.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it is what it is.
Just look at Pokemon for one single, great example. I mean, people are sending cards in to get graded. They're getting the cards back. They're selling. They're buying. They're trading. They're buying graded cards. I mean, young people are buying graded cards, which blows my mind. I mean, I see some of these reels and stuff where kids are going to a table at a card show, and they're pulling out a card, and you're like, how is this kid walking around with $1,000 card? I'm not saying he shouldn't be. I'm just saying, they've put their efforts together, their money together. They've purchased something, or they've found it in a pack and they got it graded, whatever the reason. But then you see them just pull it out of their pocket, and you're like, oh my God, imagine us being kids and pulling $1,000 out of your pocket in cash. You would have crapped your pants.
Yeah, like a Michael Jordan Upper Deck White Sox baseball card.
Is that valuable? I don't know.
That. No, it's garbage now.
Yeah. But I mean, I've seen kids pull stuff out of binders in front of guys whose channels these are, who are sellers, and have tables, and they're like, "Oh my God, I have never seen this in person." And you've got an 11-year-old standing there, and you're like, "Oh my, how is this happening? That this kid's walking around with a one of one?"
I'm like, how is that even worth $1,000?
Well, of course, you when you're not in that, you're not collecting that item, that line of things.
Yeah.
It's hard to follow along, but collectibles are crazy. They've gone nuts. All right, folks, I think that's going to do it for this episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. We wanted to have a conversation here. We didn't want to dig too deep and be going through actual items and looking at prices and stuff. You can do that yourself if you have a Heritage account. I'm sure you've already seen the final prices. And for the folks who have been in that auction and we're watching it, you saw the price changes from one day to the next. But please let us know what maybe was the most egregious thing that you saw, or how you feel about it. We want to hear from you in the comments. Let us know what item, if there was an item that jumped out to you that you saw the sold price on May the 4th, which the auction was for. And then you're now seeing the May 5th price. What was the biggest swing? What was the biggest jump?
Yeah, Charles, tell us when you find that out.
Yeah.
Thanks, Charles.
Yeah, Charles is going to call the voicemail line. He's going to let us know what was the biggest jump.
That's why he left to do research.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Charles.
Yeah, I love when I was watching an episode the other day, and I love when Chris admitted that I was correct, that he went into a cave underground in Colorado and did research for 2 weeks without his wife and children.
Yeah.
What was that for? Oh, the Kenner, the Kenner. History of Kenner. Yeah,
the history of
it's
Kenner.
so great. It's so great. All right, yeah. If you want to know about the history of Kenner, go back and watch our last episode from last week, or no, at this point it'll be a couple weeks ago, and you can hear the story of Kenner and Hasbro and Tonka and General Mills and all that. All right, folks. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Please check out our Patreon, and we will see you next time on 5 Idiots Talking Toys. Good night.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Charlie. Good night.